नमस्कार दोस्तों, बिंदास बातों में आपका एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। जैसा कि मैंने पिछले एपिसोड में बताया कि जो मेरा टॉपिक है पेरेंटिंग का, वो कंटिन्यू करेगा मे बी फॉर अनदर 2 एपिसोड्स। सो दिस विल बी कॉल्ड चैलेंज पार्ट 2। तो पिछले एपिसोड में हमने डिस्कस किया था जो पेरेंट्स महसूस करते हैं एंड जो पेरेंट्स के चैलेंजेस हैं। दिस टाइम आई विल बी टॉकिंग टू द यंग अडल्ट्स ऑफ द हाउस। सो द अडल्ट्स हु आर अंडर 21 years। चलिए, तो अभी आप क्या करिए कि आप जो डिस्कशंस हैं, जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, उनको आप देखिए और उसके बाद वी विल डिस्कस व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हाउ द वे द किड्स आर फीलिंग इन आवर हाउस एंड उसके लिए हम मेरा क्या विचार है या मैं क्या सोचती हूँ उन चैलेंजेस के बारे में, उसको डिस्कस करेंगे।
Being a young adult, there's restrictions everywhere. So basically restrictions in meaning because parents care for us. So that's why they've put the restrictions. But sometimes I think that they're not like necessary for me. So the restrictions come in like I have to be home at a certain time if I'm with my friends or anyone else. And then I have to inform my parents where I'm going, what time, who with, all the other restrictions that are similar to that. They are thinking something good for me, but as a young adult, I like to go wherever I want to go, but it's also a bad thing.
How's it bad? Why do you think it's bad? From their perspective?
Yeah, as from their perspective, that shouldn't be done like that. Should be followed by the rules.
Why are you not able to convince your parents that what you're doing is not wrong?
I've never tried to convince them because I know the answer already.
Okay.
I've tried in a way that they will let me go, but it's still the same. So I've never given a try after that. So I leave it at what it is, and I can.
So you have given in or you revolt?
I've given in.
Do you at any point feel that your parents are not good enough or they don't make you feel proud?
No.
You are proud of your parents?
Yeah.
And their achievements and everything?
Yeah.
And their values and all of the things?
Because then I also look at it when I'm at home by myself. I also think, I'm like, okay, yeah, like when I think back, I'm like, okay, this should be the right thing for me. So I try to follow whatever they say.
Why do you feel that they will not understand? Why do you think that?
Because probably when they were children, they were taught the same thing. So probably I'll have to go through the same things that they went through.
Do you believe in that?
Not quite, but that's what they say to me.
So does that mean that when you have your kids, you will be the same as your parents?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then
Not
don't you think that you should convince your parents to change?
Yes, I should, but
it's too tough.
it's too hard, too tough.
I don't really, in regards to, I mean, I still live at home with my parents and stuff, but it's not, I guess at times the issue would be something to do with like privacy stuff. Like when I'm, just personally for me, sometimes when I'm just in my room, sometimes it can feel, I'm constantly on edge as to like, oh, someone's gonna walk in, you know?
So you don't have a lock?
No, I do, but it can, like, I feel really weird putting a lock on my door, but it's kind of just like out of, sometimes like, your parents will just like willy-nilly just walk in and you'll be like, oh, what the heck?
Okay, so the most challenging part of you, when you're a young adult staying with your parents or with your parents, is your privacy.
To an extent, yeah. I mean,
okay. And that is the most challenging part for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have many challenges.
Okay, cool.
I mean, for the most part, my parents are pretty okay. I don't really have any challenging challenges.
I wouldn't say there are any like big challenges, but I guess it would mainly relate to like, I'm sure they have to adapt to like bringing up a child in Australia compared to how they were brought up in India, because there are definitely heaps of differences in the community itself, like also just like what they do in their social lives, I guess. In Australia, where young adults are always going out, like we're always going out. There's definitely a nightlife out here as well. You're with your friends quite a bit. There's a big emphasis on spending time with your friends and
socializing,
socializing, and you being your own individual self. Like when you grow up in India, like your social lives are very different in comparison to what we experience in Australia as a young adult. Just like even daily things and just daily routines and stuff like that, there's definitely big differences there. And I think it's just more so you need to, like, while they understand me and where I'm coming from, I have to sometimes remember like because then you question why isn't that just natural?
So in saying that, another quick one, because you have your cousins, your same age cousins staying in India still.
Yeah.
Do they find same challenges or are they different from you?
I can see like my cousins, like they're definitely living quite a similar life to what I am, especially when they've moved away. And even when they come home, like there's a lot of similarities there, and it's just, you can see the progress in how our parents were raised in India and like what
huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, yeah, like I was saying, in terms of the challenge there, how it like contradicts what we've learned, because we learn from our surroundings always. Like what shapes us is your surroundings, your environment, and all of that. That's what shapes who you are. And so I guess it's interesting to see how like just some of the ideas that they may have and how they contradict your ideas. Not saying that their ideas are wrong or that your ideas are wrong, but definitely just to see how different they are and why they may be different. And I think that's where the challenge is, to like see like what it is that shaped their ideas. You always think that your own thoughts and ideas are right, like that's just natural, and your parents are so important in your life. I think I just find it really interesting to see what shaped them to be who they are. And I think that's really cool, especially in how you're saying in like parenting and how they parent me. I think it's interesting to see like the differences in how they were brought up and how they're bringing me up. And
तो देखिए, हम लोगों ने देखा कि हमारे घर के खुद के घर के फ्रेंड्स के 3 बच्चों ने जो करीब 18 से 21 साल के बीच में रेंज करते हैं, उन्होंने क्या बोला, जिसमें ऑफ कोर्स मेरी डॉटर थी और मेरे फ्रेंड्स के बच्चे थे। मैंने सोचा क्यों नहीं मैं इस एपिसोड को अकेले ना करके डिस्कशन में अपनी डॉटर को भी इंक्लूड करूं। तो मिलिए मेरी डॉटर
हेलो
अनन्या से। ये मेरी डॉटर है, ये 19 इयर्स की हैं, तो शी विल बी सॉर्ट ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटिंग द यंग अडल्ट साइड, और इन्हीं से मैं डिस्कस करूंगी कुछ क्वेश्चंस और फिर देखूंगी कि हमारी क्या सोच है, और पेरेंट्स को रिप्रेजेंट मैं कर रही हूँ तो मेरी क्या सोच है और उनकी क्या सोच है, और उस हिसाब से देखते हैं कोई सोल्यूशन निकलता है कि नहीं। तो अनन्या, वेलकम टू माय चैनल।
थैंक यू, नाइस टू बी हियर।
मैं दर्शकों को बताना चाहूंगी कि अनन्या बिल्कुल प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं है, उन्हें पता नहीं है कि मैं क्या पूछने वाली हूँ, तो मेरे दिमाग में जो इस वक्त आ रहा है वही मैं पूछती जाऊंगी। लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द पीपल whom we have interviewed। सबसे पहले हम पार्टिसिपेंट ए, वी नॉट गोइंग टू यूज नेम्स, तो जो सबसे पहले बच्चा था जिसने बात करी उसके बारे में थोड़ा डिस्कस करना चाहूंगी। सो द फर्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट, as you've seen it as well, that particular child or that particular adult the biggest challenge for him was the restrictions that are placed on him. He himself being, though he is definitely different from you, तो तुमको ज़्यादा इच्छा नहीं होती बाहर जाने की या घूमने फिरने की, लेकिन इस पर्टिकुलर बच्चे को बाहर जाने की इच्छा होती है। इसका फ्रेंड सर्कल बहुत बड़ा है और यंग है, तो इसको इच्छा होती है कि भाई देर रात तक मस्ती करें, थोड़ा घूमें फिरें अपने ग्रुप के साथ, और क्लब्स में जाएं और ये सब करें। तो उसके घर में ये जो सिचुएशन उसने बोला, उसके लिए सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है कि कब वो चाहता है कि उसके पेरेंट्स ये चीज़ समझें कि वो क्यों बाहर जाना चाहता है, या उसकी एज में उसको क्यों इच्छा होती है जाने की, और कि वो सेफ रहेगा और वो इतना रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, लेकिन फिर भी घर में कोई समझता नहीं। और दूसरी चीज़ की जब ये टॉपिक उठता है तो इसमें समझना तो दूर की बात है, रिस्ट्रिक्शंस पहले आ जाते हैं।
Right.
तो तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि इस बच्चे को ऐसी स्थिति में क्या करना चाहिए, या क्या इसका अप्रोच, भाई क्या वो घूमना फिरना छोड़ दे?
No, absolutely not. क्योंकि अगर वो करेगा तो he'll go crazy, and he will just resent his parents, and he'll start not telling them about anything ever in his life, which I think is the worst possible outcome. Because the last thing you want, I think the last thing parents want as well is the distance between their kids, where the kids feel like they can't share anything with them, and they have this, like, I don't know what's going on in my kid's life, and I don't know what they're doing, who they're seeing, who they're friends with. I feel like that's the last thing anyone wants.
Yes.
So I feel like that would be the end result if he just stops going out altogether. Then he'll just stop telling his parents about things.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सबसे बड़ा पॉइंट इसमें ये है ट्रस्ट।
Yeah.
Correct. Parents should start trusting their kids, and I think that is the biggest problem in the present scenario, especially जहाँ parents और बच्चों के बीच में थोड़ा distance आ गया है, communication कम है, वहाँ trust का factor बहुत कम हो जाता है। अगर वो trust करें इस बात पे कि जो बच्चा उनका करेगा, क्योंकि बच्चा otherwise is very responsible.
Yeah.
It is only this fact, only this thing that is sort of contradiction.
That rather than having these big restrictions on why you shouldn't go places or why you shouldn't do things, parents should have, okay, if you are going to this place, make sure you send me a message when you get there, make sure you don't drink too much, because, you know, I want you to be in control of your situation so you know what's happening, and just send me a text if you, like, when you've reached home, okay, or send me a text when you've reached your friend's house, okay. Just, I think things like that are very reasonable, and I feel like that's something a child can actually uphold. I know I could.
So last episode में मैंने एक चीज बोली थी,
Yeah.
कि पेरेंट्स को rather than restrictions के बजाय, क्योंकि हम सब में जो उम्र से तुम लोग गुजर रहे हो, उससे हम भी गुजर चुके हैं, और ये नहीं कहूंगी कि हमने कोई मस्तियां नहीं की हैं, हमने भी की हैं। तो मैंने लास्ट एपिसोड में ये बोला था कि instead of putting restrictions, parents should look at narrating their own stories. So, and because he also kept saying that he understands where his parents are coming from, he understands what his parents are from, why his parents are so strict, he understands that. So I did question him that कि इसका मतलब क्या ये है कि तुम अपने बच्चों के साथ भी ऐसे करोगे? तो उसने तुरंत कहा नो। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जो पेरेंट्स उसके साथ कर रहे हैं, कहीं उनमें कुछ गलतियां हैं। हाँ, इट इज नॉट राइट। In our scenario, as I said before, कि मुझे पता है तुम्हारे friends कौन हैं,
because I confide in you.
You confide in me, always, and I know everything that's happening in your life. So I'm very lucky in that regard. I've mentioned it several times. For both of my kids, they share everything with me, so I'm aware what's happening. But a lot of parents are not in that situation.
Right.
So इस particular case में the biggest problem I feel is कि parents जो इसके friends हैं, वो उसके घर कभी नहीं आते हैं. So what should he do?
Anything.
How should he introduce the friends to the house?
That's a tough question.
Tough question.
That's a tough question.
Yeah. But do you think introducing would make a difference?
Yes.
Yes. So that is maybe a very key point. Understand. So that is maybe a very key point. Though they don't meet, but then this fellow, this boy, should make an effort to introduce his friends at home.
Yeah.
So to overcome the challenge, the best way is to introduce the two parties.
I believe so.
So the friends should be introduced and should have a more frequent entry in the house.
Plus, from what I've learned, is friends aren't against meeting your
The second discussion, okay, your discussion was a bit
boring.
Not boring, I wouldn't say boring, but as you said that you don't have so much challenge in the house, so maybe you only mentioned the part of privacy.
I mean, because when I think about it, that was one of my main challenges. I remember there'd be a time if I'm in my room with my headphones on listening to music or watching a movie or something, I would, like, my dad from downstairs would be yelling out my name, and I would think, I would like pause everything, listen, and I wouldn't hear anything, and so I'd play it again, and then I'd hear it again, and it was a lot of that, or it would be a lot of like knocking on my room to see every 5 seconds like what I'm doing, and that used to really bug me because I'm like, what do you think I'm doing?
So what happens in a family is that लोगों को ये लगता है कि दरवाजा बंद करने की क्या जरूरत है?
Oh, that drives me insane.
Yeah. ये उनको समझ नहीं आता कि दरवाजा बंद करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि वो उनकी स्पेस है एंड दे वांट टू बी इन देयर। अब हम लोग की किस्मत अच्छी है कि हमारे बच्चे 20, 22, 25 साल तक हमारे साथ ही रहते हैं। अभी किस्मत अच्छी की बुरी है तो इंडिविजुअल पे है, बट मेरे लिए मुझे लगता है मेरी
जब तक शादी नहीं होती
हाँ,
तब तक घर पे
हमारी किस्मत अच्छी है कि हमारे बच्चे हमारे साथ रहते हैं। पर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि उनकी खुद की जरूरतें नहीं है या उनकी खुद की कुछ एजेंडाज नहीं है। वो कुछ भी करें कमरे में, हर वक्त दरवाजा खुला रखना तो जरूरी नहीं है ना। अगर आपको जरूरत है बात करने की और बहुत जरूरी है कुछ, तो फोन कर ले। सबके पास फोन 24 घंटे होता है इन लोगों के पास। इज द सटीक वे ऑफ कॉन्टैक्टिंग द यंगस्टर्स टुडे। इट्स द बेस्ट वे। मैसेज कर दो, इवन बेटर, क्योंकि मैसेज से भी 2 मिनट में आंसर आ जाता है, क्योंकि ये लोग आजकल मैसेज वाले ही युग में जी रहे हैं। ये लोग फोन कॉल्स कम करते हैं एक दूसरे को। जो हमने अपने घर में चेंज लाया, मेरे घर में थोड़ी मेरी चल जाती है, तो चलता है थोड़ी अच्छा काफी चल जाती है, तो इसलिए चलता है। जैसे हम लोग उस दिन बाहर गए थे और दादी अकेली थी घर पे, तो तुमको मैं बोल कर गई थी कि तुम बेटा जाके नीचे दादी के साथ बैठ के
हाय हेलो बोल के
जाके बोल लेना, उनके हालचाल ले लेना, उनके लिए टीवी लगा देना, अगर हो सके तो कोई मूवी उनके साथ बैठ के देखना। And you watched 3 movies together, which was so good, and she was so happy with it. She mentioned when we came back, she said, "Oh, हमने और नन्ना ने 3 movies देखी." तो that was nice. तो ये बैलेंस लाना बहुत जरूरी है, और ये नहीं सोचना कि बच्चे अगर कमरे में बंद हैं तो कुछ गलत ही कर रहे हैं। अरे क्यों गलत करेंगे भैया, हमारे बच्चे
गलत क्या
गलत कर लेंगे?
क्या मैं करूंगी? What could I don't understand that.
Privacy is a very important factor, right?
Yes.
And kids do need that. So parents need to understand कि जो उनकी स्पेस है उनको दें, और हर चीज पे क्वेश्चन नहीं करें। हर बात पे ट्रस्ट का फैक्टर आता है। प्लीज ट्रस्ट करें अपने बच्चों को, और जो उनको स्पेस चाहिए उनको दें। अच्छा, तीसरा, ये तो आपकी बात हो गई।
Yes.
जो तीसरे बच्चे ने डिस्कस किया था वो भी थोड़ा अलग टाइप की बात थी, क्योंकि उसका भी ये कहना था कि शी इज वेरी वेल सपोर्टेड बाय हर पेरेंट्स, देयर वाज नो प्रॉब्लम देयर। क्योंकि ये मुझे उसकी चर्चा से मुझे ये लगा कि she tries to question the restrictions, not the restrictions, because her parents don't restrict. Right. In the end, she gets what she wants.
She ends up doing what she wants
to do. So जहाँ जाना चाहती है वहाँ जाती है, जो करना चाहती है करती है in the end. But शायद उस जगह पहुँचने के लिए उसको काफी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है। तो maybe she has to convince the parents double कि भाई नहीं, कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं सेफ रहूंगी। और यही चीज उसको समझ में नहीं आती कि हर बार यही क्यों, हर बार यही बातें क्यों। बिकॉज टाइम्स वर डिफरेंट एट दैट टाइम। और जो इंडिया में पला बड़ा है, और सोसाइटी नहीं, उसमें भी फर्क है। जो उसके पेरेंट्स ने देखा है, मैंने नहीं देखा। मेरी लाइफ स्टाइल वॉज वेरी डिफरेंट, एंड मे बी दैट इज अनदर रीजन दैट आई एम सो सपोर्टिव। एंड मेरा अलग तरीका होता है सोचने का, बिकॉज माई अपब्रिंगिंग एंड माई थिंकिंग एंड माई schooling and everything was very different from any other parents. जिन लोगों का इंटरव्यू
I mean, I think from what I've heard, both your parents were quite trusting in you.
Oh, that is the reason I'm so switched on and practical and
because
because my mother was exactly on the same page.
Yeah, and you've seen it work. You know that their upbringing style has how it's brought you up.
Yes.
And how it's not made you into some loony psychopath.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes.
So you know it works, and I feel like that's what they think as well. कि उनको लगता है कि मेरे parents brought me up this way, and it works क्योंकि I turned out okay, and मैं ठीक हूँ, मैं बहुत sensible and all this हूँ, तो if I bring up my child this way, then they'll end up sensible too. But what they don't understand कि India and Australia are very different places. Children here and there are very different, and that's just what I think. I mean, जब हम इंडिया विजिट करने जाते हैं, मैं कजन से मिलती हूँ एंड फैमिली से, तो I कभी कभी even if they're in my age range, sometimes I find it difficult to talk to them क्योंकि मुझे I don't know what's happening in India. Like movies में देखती हूँ, वो सब होता है, right? That's fine. कभी कभी Indian YouTubers के channels भी देख लेती हूँ, like that's fine. लेकिन फिर भी I don't know what's happening like for them. Like I don't know what's popular there for youngsters. I don't know this, that, everything. Same, they don't know what's popular here for us. And I feel like that's a thing. Like you can't expect your upbringing in a different country, in a different environment, in a different society, work on your child who's in a different environment, a different upbringing, and different society. I feel like you need to,
and socially expectations भी different होती हैं. शायद उन parents के समय ये expected ही नहीं था कि वो लोग रात को निकलें बाहर after dark.
Yeah.
But अभी है expected, क्योंकि आजकल clubbing के लिए रात नहीं जाते हैं.
Yeah,
it only starts after 10.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, well, you
9,
go.
10.
Well, you meet at someone's house at roughly 6:37. You get pre-drinks.
Pre-drinks पहले भी पीते हैं देखो. और फिर जाके वहां पीने.
Yeah, well, वहाँ पे उतना नहीं पीते. That's the thing, क्योंकि वहाँ पे drinks इतने expensive होते हैं कि there's no point. Who's going to pay $25 for a drink?
देखिए सेंसिबल बात करी ना बच्चे ने. देखिए हम लोग सोचते हैं कि लोग उल्लू हैं, लोग उल्लू नहीं है.
नहीं.
देखिए प्री ड्रिंक करके घर से ही पी के जाते हैं, वहां जाके ना पीना पड़े, खर्चा ना करना पड़े. तो देखिए वो सिर्फ जा रहे हैं क्लब हॉपिंग जो करते हैं, वो शायद सिर्फ
डुफ के लिए.
डुफ और गुड लुकिंग गाइज एंड गर्ल्स को ताड़ने.
Yeah, it would be a lie to say that I don't check people out.
सिर्फ चेक करने जाते हैं पब्लिक को, बाकी कुछ करने नहीं जाते हैं. तो
But
क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
but that's the thing, right? You have to pre-drink, so you're already in a mood. लेकिन तुम इतने भी drunk नहीं हो सकते हो, because then the bouncers outside will kick you out. अगर तुम एक straight line में चल नहीं सकते हो, if they ask are you drunk and you answer like no, then they're not going to let you in.
That's it. See? तो इतना कोई चैलेंज नहीं होता. लेकिन फिर भी पेरेंट्स जब स्ट्रेस करते हैं, या जो ये लड़की बोल रही थी कि जानने की कोशिश करना चाहती है कि वो पेरेंट्स उसके कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, लाइक टू नॉलेज सेक, ऐसा आपको कभी महसूस होता है?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
कब, कैसे, कब, कहाँ?
I mean, not so much with you, but sometimes with Papa or sometimes with Dadi, I sometimes think ki like, what made them this way?
Yes,
you know,
the way they are.
You know, कि कभी-कभी लगता है कि I wonder what their parents were like. Well, पापा के लिए तो दादी है. Dadi is right there.
Dadi was a strict Dadi.
Yeah, she was a strict mom, so you kind of understand. And Bui also can be a bit similar in that way, you know. So that makes sense. क्योंकि but sometimes I look at Dadi and I think, what were her parents like? What was her childhood like? Were her parents super easygoing? She didn't appreciate the easygoing. Maybe she wanted her parents to be a bit strict, because I've had moments with you where, so sometimes I used to think, what the heck's wrong with my mom? Like, why is she so
easygoing?
That used to, I don't know.
And if you remember, I did ask you a question once, and I said that, do you think I'm too easygoing? And you did say that, yes, sometimes I feel that in certain matters you should be more stricter. Do you remember?
Yes.
So that came as a news to me, because I thought I was being lenient and being so open and easygoing was the key to everything. But she said no, sometimes you need
a
to
healthy
be
balance.
Yes, so a healthy balance. So I'm too easygoing, but am I now?
Not anymore. But I feel
anymore.
like in that situation I used it more like when a friend asks me, do you want to come hang out with us, or we're doing this, we're doing that, and I would ask her expecting her to be like no, so then I could be like, sorry, my mum says no. But then this one would say, yeah, that's fine, I don't see any issue, yeah, go have fun. And I would be like, now what do I say to them? Because she was and I'm a very bad liar. Like, people see right through it when I'm lying, that I just do something that makes them all go a little bit like, that's a lie. So even over like phone call or anything, if I told them that, oh yeah, my mum said no, and she said yes, they'd probably be like, really though? Like, really? So I needed some excuse, and in that moment of time I was like, do you really want me going out everywhere? Do you really, like, is that really, like, can't you just be a little bit stricter, just so I could get out of situations a bit easier?
But then I told her that if you want to get out of a situation, you can always use my name. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, so now I do that.
So even if I don't say no, it doesn't matter.
Sometimes
you can
I don't
still
even
say,
ask her.
yeah, just say no. My mom said no. It doesn't matter. If you want to use me as an excuse, especially when you want to come out of a situation. So if you are in a party and you want to come out of there, because going is one thing and enjoying, she doesn't enjoy much.
Oh, well, it depends on the people
for a
and
longer
the
period.
environment.
Yeah, she gets exhausted. So if you are getting exhausted, you're reaching that point and you really want me to come and pick you up, you just say that your mom is like weird. She's acting weird. Again, she's psycho. She wants you home. Simple.
Nowadays, if there's a party or something that I have to go to and I don't feel like going, I don't even ask her. I just say, nah, sorry, can't go. I have a family gathering.
Because a lot of her friends now know me. So putting that excuse that she's saying no is also not something that works for her. But then if being an Indian, we have so many gatherings, so many things, not that we go for Indian functions or anything, but we are very social people. So a lot of family gatherings we do have, family friends visiting. So that is a huge excuse that she has. That is her
main
go-to.
Excuse.
Yes, the go-to excuse.
Oh crap, now I just outed myself. Now anytime I say I have a family gathering, people will be like, that's bullshit.
Photos if you do have.
And they'll be like, that's not true. You're lying. You just don't want to go.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll figure something else out to not
for the
go.
next one.
Yeah, I'll figure out
Okay.
another excuse.
So that was our discussion today. So जो मुझे समझ में आया इतने डिस्कशन में 2-3 चीजें जो की पॉइंट्स समझ में आया, पहला तो वही ट्रस्ट इज द बिगेस्ट फैक्टर.
I would
Second was of course to introduce your friends to your family.
Yes.
Have sort of an interaction. ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि हर तीसरे दिन फ्रेंड्स आपके घर पे आ जाए, बट एटलीस्ट साल में एक बार तो आए, एक बार तो मिलाओ जुलाओ, और ऐसा मिलना जुलना कि जिसमें थोड़ा खाना पीना इन्वॉल्व हो, जिसमें कि थोड़ा मिंगलिंग हो. ऐसा नहीं कि बच्चे आए ऊपर कमरे में चले गए, आए बाहर निकल गए, नहीं, थोड़ा, नॉट ऑल द टाइम. वैसे पेरेंट्स भी बड़े अनोइंग होते हैं जो हर वक्त बच्चों के बीच में ही बैठे रहते हैं. दे डोंट गिव देम स्पेस. कह रहे उनका ग्रुप आया वहीं बैठे हैं खोपड़ी पे, अरे जाओ भाई उन्हें अपना करने दो, इंट्रोड्यूस हो जाओ, उसके बाद चले जाओ. That's sort of a thing, but having that is also very healthy. Third is to respect the privacy of the kids, correct? And fourth is the curiosity of understanding why the parents are coming from where they are coming. Parents should be more open, and be more communicating. Exactly, narrating their stories more and more to their kids. So
their backstory,
Yes.
what happens to them in a certain situation. If something bad happened or something, anything that can be a teachable moment. If you want to restrict your child from going somewhere, you can be like, well, this happened to me and this could happen to you, and I don't feel safe with you doing
that is one side of narrating story. But the third participant, the other girl who said she wants to understand, have the knowledge of their upbringing. So narrating stories and telling what the scenario was in our days, या कि जैसे जब मेरी माँ बाप ने या उनके जिसको प्रॉब्लम है या जिसको ये जानने की क्यूरियोसिटी है, उसके पेरेंट्स को बैठ के ये चीज बतानी चाहिए कि उनके घर में क्या सिस्टम था और क्यों था वो सिस्टम, और क्यों वो सिस्टम उस वक्त ठीक था,
and why it necessarily doesn't work
now. हाँ, तो supporting the present system and how to work around it and how everybody can be in a win-win situation, right? So these are the things that we take from this video. I hope आप लोगों को समझ आया होगा और कुछ गाइडेंस तो मिली होगी और कुछ हेल्प मिली होगी, और होपफुली आपने इस वीडियो को भी एंजॉय किया होगा. वेट फॉर द नेक्स्ट वन, जिसमें हमारे घर के kids आने वाले हैं under the age of 16, under the age of actually 13.
Well, they're under a lot of ages.
Yeah, under the age of 13 actually.
Yeah.
No, 13.
Well, they're all turning 13.
Turning 13 and 14.
Except
Under the
one.
age of 14.
Except one. I think one's
Yeah.
turning 14 or 15.
Yeah, 14 or 15. So under the age of 16, let's make it under the age of 16. उनसे डिस्कशन हुआ इसी क्वेश्चन के बारे में, और उनके क्या चैलेंजेस थे, और उनको क्या लगता है अपनी फैमिली में, और कैसा लगता है, कैसे उनकी अपब्रिंगिंग कैसे हो रही है, तो उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. तब तक के लिए क्या करेंगे आप लोग, देखते रहिए
बिंदास बातें.
बिंदास बातें.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.